Dealing with big life changes is not easy. It's going to feel really uncomfortable. You're going to feel the desire to cling to the past and wish that things were the same. And you're going to uncover a lot of things about yourself that may have been hidden before. Now, just to give some context, I am in a new apartment now, and I am living for the first time in my entire life by myself. I'm living with my cat, but basically alone. And I'm no longer in a relationship, which in the past 4.5 years, I was in one. So there's a lot of big changes around here. And this has caused me to go down this rabbit hole of really just experiencing a lot of pain, to be honest with you. And I think that at some point in everyone's life, we all go through big life changes. And so that's why I wanted to make this video, is to share some of the things that I have been doing for myself that has been really helpful in helping me get to that next chapter with clarity, with focus, with confidence. So let's dive right in. Now, the first thing that's going to happen when you're going through a big life change is you're going to feel this desire to attach yourself to the past. You're going to want to cling to the past because we naturally, as human beings, seek what's familiar. So it's natural for us to just wish that things were how they used to be when you were comfortable and you didn't necessarily have to worry about this pain that you're going through. But it is really powerful to detach, to realize that nothing in life lasts forever, and we eventually have to accept that, unless we want to just create more unnecessary pain for ourselves, because it is painful to sit there and wish that things were the way they were in the past. Secondly, make sure that you do not avoid the problem. It is very easy and tempting to distract yourself with social media, with video games, with movies, with things that aren't going to move the needle forward, because you're just trying to get rid of the pain temporarily. The quicker that you face the problem and you actualize what is happening in your life and accept it, the quicker that you can make progress and come up with solutions to actually get out of that rabbit hole. There will be times, look, I'm saying this, and I definitely have my moments where I sit there and scroll on social media. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying, I'm just saying that be mindful of what it is that you naturally are doing anytime you feel discomfort. Like, I was getting prepared for this little shoot because, dude, I haven't done a video like this in probably like 5 or 6 months. And it was a little uncomfortable. I didn't feel like setting all the gear up. And I immediately felt myself wanting to just go lay down and scroll on socials just to feel like, I'm not uncomfortable anymore. But the one thing to realize is that nothing is more uncomfortable than that feeling when you realize you just wasted an hour or two scrolling on socials. Choose your pain, choose your discomfort. If you reflect on all of those tendencies that you might have, or I'll speak for myself, I definitely don't feel good about myself afterward. And so I'd rather deal with the pain of discomfort in the present moment of just setting the equipment up and sitting down and recording the video, as opposed to wasting time feeling like shit about myself and just honestly, like ruining the day. Because I don't know about you, but every time I finish scrolling on socials, I feel like, what did I just do? Like, now I feel like I can't even catch back up to where I was. Also, a little pro tip before I move on to the next thing is, anytime you feel that icky feeling, like you're scrolling on socials and you feel yourself going down that bad habit, notice that feeling. When you feel that like uncomfortable, uneasy feeling, like, I shouldn't be scrolling right now, use that as a trigger to go pick up a book. Or my favorite thing is to go on a walk. You never come back after a walk regretting the walk. Now, the next thing that I would really suggest when you're going through big life change is to journal your feelings. Now, I've had a roller coaster relationship with journaling. A couple years ago during COVID, I was saying that journaling changed my life. And then shortly after I posted that video, I stopped journaling consistently. And I think that's okay. I think with my relationship with journaling now is, I don't want to make it a chore. I just want to use it as a tool. And if you look at it that way, use it as a way to document your feelings, document what you're going through, how you're processing things. It really helps you wrap your head around the current situation. So if I go into my journal and I sit down and I write how I'm feeling, how my body's feeling, my emotions, what I learned that day, what I'm thinking about, what is kind of like frustrating me, not only do I instantly feel better after, but when I look back in retrospect, I'm making so much more progress because I'm connecting the dots. If I had a shitty day 2 days in a row, then I might think like, maybe I should stop scrolling on socials because I think that's might be why I'm feeling like shit in the morning, for example. So journaling your feelings at your own pace and in a way that really lights you up, because we're all different. Personally, don't like sticking to the same journal prompts. You might, but measure and test out different ways of documenting your feelings, your thoughts, ideas. I mean, sometimes I finish journaling and I feel so much better just getting it out. I feel like I just had a conversation with a therapist or something. I think like a journal can be like your own therapy in a way. If you want some prompts, I journal how I'm feeling. I journal my energy. I journal my mood. And then I talk about something that I did the previous day that was some form of self-care. And what this does is it reminds me that I need to continue doing things to take care of myself so that I can continue to feel better and make progress in my life. And another thing that I just recently started doing is documenting all the lessons that I'm learning, because I had the habit of reading just a million books and not ingraining the lessons that I was learning. I was just reading and going to the next chapter, next chapter, next chapter. But if you never pause and reflect on what you just read or write it down, writing down is my favorite method as of recent, then you're not going to actually absorb the lessons in your day-to-day life. It's just going to be like another cheap dopamine hit. Like, you probably don't remember a video on Instagram from last week that made you laugh. If you can have a conversation with somebody about something that you learned, or if you can write it down, or if you can make a video about it, piece of content, you're going to remember that lesson so much more and be able to dive deeper into it in the future, because you're repurposing the lesson through your own words. And that's how you actually learn something new. So that has been super helpful for me. Maybe you can try it out in your journaling process. If you want me to make a video about that, just let me know. Now, the next thing that has been super helpful throughout this whole process is picking up books, but not just any old book, relevant books. Relevant books cater to what I'm going through right now. Do your research and make sure that you find the right book. Look at testimonials, look at people's reviews on it, and see what impact it has had on other people. And if you feel like if it's relevant to your situation, then read it, give it a shot. You never know what might come of it. It actually might change your life. It certainly has for me. There are a couple books that I've been reading recently that have been massively life-changing. One of those being The Way of the Superior Man. Super helpful in terms of dealing with this current chapter of my life. So ask yourself what it is that your goal is throughout this big life change. Do your research, just give it a shot. You never know what might happen. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is leaning on relationships. Whenever COVID happened, I went through this phase of feeling like relationships weren't as important as I used to feel that they were, which is so backwards. Recently, I've been spending a lot more time just calling friends, rekindling connections with old buddies, asking them how life is going and just hearing about what they're going through. And there really is like this bond that takes you away from what pain you're experiencing when you're able to share and communicate with other people. But also, you gain so much more perspective on your current situation when you vent to the people that you trust. Just simply somebody being there for you, being willing to sit in the mud with you and just say, yeah, man, that shit sucks. And I bet you're going through it right now, but just know that I'm with you. Those are the type of relationships that are so impactful. And I feel like, honestly, is the biggest key to big life changes. The most important thing probably in this whole video. The best thing about those really, really powerful relationships that either you might have or you will have one day is that they see things that you can't. They see from the outside looking in, and they care so much about you that they tell you things, they almost call you on your bullshit. I've had plenty of bullshit that I need to be called out on. I'm so grateful for those people that I trust to voice those things and tell me like, hey man, like just because of this doesn't mean this, and you got this, that sort of thing. If you don't have people to rely on, start nurturing the people that you care about and just foster those relationships and see where it goes, because we have this natural tendency as human beings to reciprocate energy. You want to build a connection with somebody, show interest, ask them how their life is going. What is going on in your life? Let's connect. Let's go have lunch or something. We are communal creatures by nature. We should be gathering our tribes and fostering each other and helping each other through life circumstances, because somebody's going to go through a big life change this year, and the next year somebody else is going to go through it, and we all just have to be there to support each other. Now, last but not least, I want you to know, if nobody else is telling you in your life, that things will get better. No matter what pain you're going through, the best part actually about being at the bottom of that dark, fucking muddy rabbit hole is the fact that it can't get worse than this. I mean, unless you die, but then it's like, whatever. But it can't get worse. So it can only get better. And if you just remind yourself that progress will happen, time will heal, and with the right effort, the dedication and the mindset, your progress is literally inevitable. Nobody can stop you from achieving your goals except for you. When you're going through difficult times, like, just be your biggest supporter. And you're gonna have times where shit sucks, man. You're gonna shed some tears and you're gonna hate life. Hate is a strong word. You're gonna really feel uncomfortable. We'll say that. But man, it's these moments of pain that really teach us the most powerful lessons about life. I was telling a friend of mine, crying is a beautiful thing. It's not so rare to say that as a man these days, but nothing will make you feel more present than pain. When you're crying and you're really feeling that emotion, you're not worried about shit else except for that emotion and what it is that you're focusing on. We have so many things going on in our minds. Like right now, I'm thinking about probably 10 other things that just like literally just ran through my mind like that. But when you're experiencing that sadness and you have tears coming out and you're just looking out at the sunset, you're just like, man, you're so present. So try to find the beauty in the pain. It's all about the dark and the light. It's about the yin and the yang. It's about the happy and the sad. It wouldn't be one without the other. And so if we can find that middle ground of like accepting the fact that life is a journey, life is a balance of ups and downs, we can really just like detach and like ride the roller coaster and just enjoy the different parts of the ride. At least in my experience, that has made my life so much better, is just the perception behind what it is that I'm going through. The best thing I can think of is the quote is, life is not happening to you. It is always happening for you. We all know that. We all know those difficult chapters in our lives that were so shitty at the time, but you look back and you're like, man, I'm so thankful for that. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about life, about relationships, about myself. I'm so grateful for it. So really appreciate those times that you have, because it is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be on this journey. Now, all these things have been so helpful for me, and I am continuing to lean on these things religiously, because just in like such a short span of time, I have felt so much better. I've gained more confidence. I've gained more clarity. I feel just excited about life, and I'm not afraid of pain anymore. I didn't mention this earlier, but whenever I dealt with loss in my life at a very young age, I was very good at avoiding that pain. And I don't say that with, I'm not proud of it, because what happens is when you avoid pain, it's going to creep back up, and it ain't going to be sexy. It's going to be a lot worse than if you just dealt with it now. It's going to come up in ways that you subconsciously don't even know what's going on. Like, why am I reacting this way? It really makes you just more reactive instead of proactive. So acknowledging your pain makes you more proactive and will truly make the change that is going to make you feel better about yourself, your life, everything. I hope this video was helpful. Give it a shot and let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram at AshtonTJoe if you want to connect on your big life change. I'm here to support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week.